Forget about El Clasico. This is El Sekiko. Sekiko. Salam Sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. If you're new to our channel, please smash the like button, click subscribe and turn on the bell notification at the bottom right hand corner so that you will be notified when we come live or when we release a new video.
Kepada yang baru sampai tu, jangan lupa join group Telegram kami. Macam mana nak masuk? Ada dekat description kat bawah, tekan join sekali. Kenapa perlu masuk? Sebab kita ada match review. Setiap match kita ada match review. Nombor 2 kita happening. Nombor 3, untuk setiap new issue kita akan update untuk segala giveaway untuk semua followers. Jangan tunggu lama, join group Telegram kami sekarang.
Okay, to start things off, Eriton, glad Apa changed his internet provider. Ini macam indirectly nak kecap admin gombak ni. Hey, chill man. Hopefully Eriton you are doing fine. You're okay. Get well soon. Okay guys, Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United. Going to this game, I think this is for us, many fans, for us, we are very confused in a way. Because in a way that, we don't really like our current manager. And then at the same time, we want us to win because we are Manchester United fans after all. So, apa? Kerana berapa episode yang lalu you ada internet problem. So, sekarang finally fix. So, I nak tanya, apa perasaan you going into this particular game?
Perasaan semestinya mau menang. Semestinya mau menang. Itu paling mustahak. I'm not hoping for the winning, but I believe for the winning. Itu paling mustahak. Sebab apa kita kena menang dengan current squad yang kita ada ni, selayaknya kita dah kena grab 3 point daripada awal start season lagi. Dengan Aston Villa pun saya dah kecewa, ikutkanlah. Dengan apa lagi dengan Liverpool 0-5 dekat Old Trafford, semestinya kecewa. Tapi kalau dengan match menentang dengan Spurs ni, walaupun kita datang ke sana, saya tak nak fikir pasal predator formation, saya tak nak predator tentang result. Apa yang saya nak, kemenangan. Itu paling mustahak. Itu yang paling, bukan saya je saya rasa, most of the fans nak kemenangan.
Macam mana pula dengan cara yang kita main? Apa yang you expect? You tak kisah dia McFred ke apa, tak kisah, janji menang saja. Apa pendapat you?
Dah malas nak fikir pasal McFred sebenarnya. Itu sebab itu ada antara pairing favourite untuk Ole. Macam mana pun kita hanya mampu merancang, tapi Ole yang menentukan. Jadi kita dah malas nak fikir. Yang paling penting 3 point clear, menang dekat sana. Itu paling kita target sekali.
Josh, so going to this game, do you think that Ole will try to maybe prove himself again to the fans, and or what Ole has to do to redeem himself, to get back the support, to get back the fans cheering and singing the Ole's at the wheel song?
For Ole, right, he needs to bring his new brand of football. If he start with McTominay and Fred in the next 10 minutes, if you see the lineup, if you see McTominay and Fred, I think he's doomed from the first minute. I think, and the only way I really hope, the least he can do is change his formation, at least like a 3-5-2 or a 4-4-2. Don't play that 4-2-3-1. He knows he's not going to do that, and you're not playing a team where it's like even lower leagues or things like that. You're playing Tottenham Hotspur at home in London. So we need to go there starting off with the quick foot by attacking Spurs. We need to disappoint their fans. That's what we need to do. If Ole has anything to give to prove himself, is to disappoint the London fans. That's the only thing he can do. Get early goal, then score counter attacks, because the only person that I can see can trap us today is Son Heung-min, and you know how he and Salah is so similar in pace and so similar in conversion. So hopefully we can nail that lah. Start in the front foot lah.
We got a comment by Ayrton. Ayrton, you gotta control your rage, man. You gotta control your rage. You know, when I'm reading this thing, I can imagine you're holding the mic. Hey, you in the comment section. Kalau Fred, kalau McFred main, aku pecah TV. Come, chill. Okay, but then the question is like this, like you mentioned he changed his formation and whatnot. So apa ini I tanya you lah. Okay, I tahu tadi you cakap you tak kisah formation ke apa, but because since we got a lot of time sekarang before the team news come out nak discuss dengan you. Okay, if just say Ole dia really dia change dia punya formation, there are sekumpulan fans yang akan cakap, baik you main cara yang lama, kenapa sekarang baru you nak cuba tukar formation semua? Ini kita fans dah menjerit-jerit dari berapa game yang lalu, sekarang you nak kena sack baru you nak tukar formation. Apa pendapat you?
Memandangkan orang cakap alalang perkasam biar ke pangkal lengan, lagi 3 game je dia punya balance. Bagi saya, kalau saya jadi Fred sendiri, kalau saya jadi Ole sendiri, saya akan tukar formation juga. Sebab apa? Kalau saya Ole, saya dah boleh nampak kita dah menggunakan double pivot tu, midfield dengan player yang sama dah beberapa musim, masih 0 trofi. Memandangkan dia ada balance 3 game, kalau saya jadi Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sendiri, saya akan tukar formation. Alang-alang dah 3 game kan. Experience terus buat lah. Sebab apa? Kalau kita nak fikir balik pasal dia punya double pivot, midfield, kita cerita pasal Atalanta. Waktu first half pun bolos 2 menggunakan double pivot yang sama. Dan waktu menentang Liverpool pun kita bolos 4 menggunakan double pivot yang sama. Jadi masalah dia kat mana? Masalahnya tak lain tak bukan daripada double pivot tu. Kalau Ole tak buka mata juga tentang isu ni, semestinya memang kecewa lah. Jadi kalau berkenaan dengan formation, kalau saya nak ubah formation, jadilah formation yang lebih efektif. Jadi saya lebih rela untuk menggunakan 4-3-3. 3 midfielder, 3 striker. Jadi saya punya pilihan untuk midfielder tu, tengah mati, kanan Bruno, kiri Pogba tak boleh main. Saya akan letak Van de Beek, 3 penyerang, Rashford kiri, Sancho kanan, Ronaldo tengah. Itu pilihan saya.
Okay, we got latest news from my roomie. Wah, dah keluar gua, ada reception boleh tengok bola. Eddie, Brighton scored equalizer, nice. Actually, I was watching just now, right? I realized actually Liverpool, regardless of how strong they are going forward and whatnot, I know, just a quick one lah. They actually leak goals, They can actually leak goals, So, but then again, it already happened lah. So let's not talk too much about it lah. Nanti jadi panas saja kita. City goal is disallowed. Okay, now we are actually looking. We are waiting for the team news, and then while then we have from City's game. City is playing who?
He's playing Palace.
Leicester.
Palace. City playing Palace. So apparently the goal is disallowed. So it's still 1-0. I think 1-0 Palace. Okay.
That's the difference lah. City can play 10 men lah.
Yeah, Eddie mentioning aku tengok 3 game at once way, including our live lah. So it's 4 lah. Wah gila lah, terbaik lah Eddie, number 1 lah.
Bagi dari reward.
Okay, so what approach? Okay, Josh, what approach do you think that Ole will go into this game? The past few games, he's usually when his job is under pressure, he will go more defensive and whatnot. You think like he will go like what Appa said, just all out lah, just all out, free flowing attacking football, the kind of football that we fans want so much. What do you think?
We should take advantage of the situation lah. Spurs is also not doing too well actually. The last few games they lost to West Ham. In Europe, they lost to Vitesse. They have not been the best of form, and their backline has been very, very shaky. It's just that United is a bigger club compared to Spurs. That's why a lot of medias are on us lah. But Spurs also is not doing so well. They started off the first 3 games with a win. I mean, winning City and so forth. But then they are not at their best at this point, and we have a better attack. I mean, I'm putting aside the Liverpool game lah. If let's say today was a fresh game and it's the kickstart of the season, we have the players the capability to actually score a lot of goals, create a lot of chances, and make this a very dominating win lah. The only fact is that there are players in Spurs that can game change lah, like Kane and Son. All right. We also have the players. In fact, we have more of those players. So we need to utilize maximum on the players that are on form, and Ole needs to play them. Don't play Fred or McTominay because he wants the system. I think you already showed that it's impossible to get a win playing both of them. You play one of them is fine, lah. I think, and I think Fred, the past two games he has played quite decently. I feel. Either that or Man United has overall played so badly that make Fred look a bit okay lah, or Maguire played so bad that make Fred look okay. But I think Fred alongside maybe Van de Beek this time, and I think it's a blessing in disguise that Pogba is banned,
he'll be missing.
and hopefully Van de Beek starts lah. I really hope lah. In the next 3 minutes, I'm also hoping that his name at least pops out lah. Wherever he play, I know he will do well. That's the thing.
Okay, we got a comment here by Sandeep Singh Gill. Son is gonna dominate us. Well, I know another person who shares the same opinion as you, but we will introduce him later. So while then, let's just chill on that first, because I think that Wan Bissaka is gonna pocket him, man. That's my humble opinion. Okay, wait. We got a comment here by Smurf. Mora will be a threat together with Son and Kane. Yep. I don't know. Do you guys think that Ole will have the guts to actually bench Harry Maguire? I think Varane is back, right? So apa you rasa dia berani ya? Berani buat apa yang sepatutnya?
Kalau Maguire sedar dia punya kesilapan dia, lagi-lagi waktu menentang Liverpool, sepatutnya dia kena bangun lah. Memandangkan dia pun sendiri kapten. Jadi dia kena menunjukkan satu persepsi sebagai ketua pasukan di atas padang. Memang kita tahu kalau kita berdasarkan kepada kualiti, memang Ronaldo lah selayaknya ataupun Bruno Fernandes selayaknya jadi ketua pasukan. Tetapi Maguire telah dipercayai daripada 2 musim lepas lagi. Jadi daripada game yang lepas dia ada buat kesilapan menentang Leicester City pun dia buat kesilapan. Dia perlu bangun. Dia perlu sedar kesilapan dia, melakukan yang terbaik untuk mengekang setiap gerakan daripada Kane, even Mora lah. Son ke, kalau dia berhadapan dia kena menunjukkan satu prestasi, satu orang cakap captaincy, very very good captain on the pitch.
So that is another question. I want a follow-up question, Josh. Do you think that Maguire can redeem himself?
I don't think so lah. He's not fit to start with. He's not fast enough, because I'm comparing centre backs in like Diaz or Van Dijk and those kind of centre backs lah. Even for example, I put Brighton's Dunk lah. He looked more
Dunk,
solid at the
Lewis
back
Dunk.
rather than Lewis Dunk. He looks more solid compared to Maguire lah. Maguire, he's not okay lah. If I put the armband aside lah, he's just average or below average. He's definitely not above average. I mean, despite having 80 million on him, putting the armband on him, it only made it worse lah, to be honest. It's very hard for him to redeem himself. The only way they can redeem himself is that if Lindelof, Varane or Bailly can stay up to their game, and that's the only way that I can see Maguire dropping off, because Ole seems to like him a lot and starting him. I'm not sure, maybe some sentimental value that he bought him.
His marquee
towards
signing way,
United and
his
Yeah,
first
that's-
marquee signing way. So that's, and then of course, with Ole, there's always the loyalty thing and whatnot over there, giving players
Yeah.
abundant of chances so that they can redeem themselves. But I think it gets kind of old in a way that it's getting toxic in the sense that as much as possible, you guys know, like even when Fred was underperforming, I defend Fred and I can actually see something in Fred, but when it comes to Maguire now, oh my god, I think I'm in same level as Raj now, man. I'm like hand in hand with Raj, man, now. Okay.
Yeah, this, and
Oli
I mean, just don't start with 2 DMs lah. Even if Matic come in, let him play alongside Van de Beek or things like that lah. If you start with 2 DM, you already know there's a negative mindset. We should be attacking Spurs defenders lah. Spurs defenders are not that great. They are leaking goals actually. So
Okay,
we
guys,
should
team
be-
news is out. Team news is out. Sorry, team news is out. Okay, we got De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire, like usual. Oh, I'm surprised that Varane is not playing. And then we got also Ronaldo, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Varane. Oh yeah, Varane is playing. Sorry, Cavani, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay. Oh, he's playing. He's going with the back three,
Three
man.
back.
back three.
Back three, man.
Wow.
He's going with the back three, man.
Back
What?
three
This
and
is
2 forward.
guts. This is guts, man.
3-5-2?
This is a different formation altogether, man. Yeah, 3-5-2. So again, De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire, Ronaldo, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Varane, Cavani, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm
3-5-2
very
or a
very
5-3-2
surprised.
lah. That means, yeah.
Yeah, so apa pendapat you formation ini?
3-4-1-2. For in my imagine 3-4-1-2, right? Sebab McTominay, Fred and Bruno Fernandes in
Yeah.
midfielder. Betul.
3-4-1-2, yeah.
So
McTominay and Fred is
Ah.
McTominay, Fred, and then yeah, correct. 3-4-1-2. Oh yeah, 3-4-1-2.
We are playing
yes,
with seven
exactly.
we're playing with 7 defenders lah.
So one attacking midfielder is Bruno Fernandes and two forward Ronaldo
Yes,
and Edison
Ronaldo
Cavani.
and Cavani. Whoa, this is
Wah,
this is something that I'm feeling excited about, man. I can feel the blood
yes,
boiling and
exactly.
whatnot, man. Yeah, man.
Benda
So
benda ni yang saya rasa dah lama saya tunggu untuk nak tengok Ronaldo dengan Cavani start from the first minute sampai tak tahu minit berapa, tapi at least kita nak tengok, bukan saya je, saya rasa banyak fan Manchester United nak tengok diorang ni bersaing dekat atas padang. Jadi satu keputusan yang saya rasa okey lah, bagi ni saya boleh cakap Ole ni buat keputusan yang bijak bagi ni je, kali ni je, sebab dia tukar formasi dan mengubah permainan pemain dua penyerang iaitu Edison Cavani dengan Ronaldo kat depan. Jadi memang saya rasa excited, memang saya rasa boleh menang. Lagi satu, dengan 3 back kita menggunakan Lindelof, Maguire dengan Varane.
wow,
Saya harap
this is wow. I'm surprised, man. Eriton, how to say, he left a message. Guys, I'm watching from my computer now. Phone pecah lah. Relax. This is Ronaldo and Cavani up front, man. Would have been better if Marcel would have come in later. Also, would be awesome. Who is on the bench? Wait, let me check. Okay, on the bench subs we got Henderson, Bailey, Dalot, Lingard, Matic, like usual, Van der Beek, Greenwood, Rashford, and Sancho. Itu Van der Beek I rasa lain kali tak payah masuk team sheet lah. Dah. Some so long, save it for someone else lah. Serious. Josh, what do you think
masih
about
menggunakan Midfield Ole?
Yeah.
Masih menggunakan Midfield.
Ini dua orang yang support dia mah. Josh, what do you think about the lineup?
That's my only disappointment. I feel that they are. I mean, to be honest lah, if Ole put whatever lineup, we're gonna criticize lah. Whatever lineup he's gonna put it. But today, this lineup, I don't know. It's pretty much a lot very defensive. I'll say it's literally 7 defenders, including the 2 DMs, because Wan-Bissaka can't cross unless he can prove us wrong today. Because Cavani and Ronaldo will need a lot of service. Bruno can't do that alone. He needs the likes of Shaw and Wan-Bissaka to keep the crossing coming in, because these two are predators in the box. Just send the ball in. These two will get something. So the only hope now, if Wan-Bissaka had a crash course of Marcelo or don't know whatever it is, or Kopi Jantan that he took again to play proper football, to give the cross in. Shaw, as we know, he is quality sometimes with his crosses. From the back, the 3 of them, I'm not so convinced lah, to be honest. With Varane, Maguire, and Lindelof, they could have just played with Varane and Lindelof. To be honest, I don't see why Maguire should be there.
Okay. Update from Liverpool's game. Brighton scored, but goal disallowed. That's why exactly, man. The more I read, Rumi, I think you don't update. I semakin marah. I baca ni, I semakin bengang. I mean, with the quality that we have, we should have done something last week lah. But Rumi, let's not talk about this, Eddie Rumi. Okay, Said, yep, I got the message. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we have a very, very special guest, a rare breed lah. I would say this is a very rare breed lah. Okay, I have to search high and low for this, But then we have a special guest who is a Spurs fan. Okay, let's all give a very warm Malaysian welcome to Dato Dr. Ramlan. Okay, he's also the CEO of Malaysia's National Sports Institute. So he got a huge credential. Later, actually, I got a lot of things to ask him out of football also. So welcome, doctor. How are you?
Hi. It's nice to be here.
No, because it's really, it's rare, when we were talking about looking for a Spurs fan, So maybe just quickly, just introduce yourself, and then maybe just introduce like how long you've been a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, and who's your and whatnot.
Yeah, am I on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're already on. Say hi to our viewers.
Right. Thank you. Well, I've been a Spurs fan. Well, actually, I've been skirting with liking them since 1974 when I was 14 years old at school. But then the whole thing cemented when you remember that replay, FA Cup replay against Manchester City in 1981 with Ardiles, Ricardo Villa, Hodder. That lineup.
Those were the golden boys lah. Ardiles especially.
So that sort of cemented my fandom for them, and until now. Of course, there were it's been quite a trying time. If anybody asks, who are you a fan of? I would say I'm a long-suffering Spurs fan. So I know I will not get much sympathy from the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United fans, but there you go. It takes a special brand of devotion to just the mere spirit or the style of play that we're used to for Spurs, rather than the sort of draws that we've been seeing for the past few years anyway. So I fully understand. I've been listening to some of your grouses, and it all sounds familiar. We always, sometimes we want success too much, and sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. It happens, and should be some development. I'm a former CEO of ISN, not the
Oh.
current one anyway. I retired
Okay.
last year. I finished as a CEO in 2016. Then I was in charge of the anti-doping agency. So that's sort of background.
Adamas.
Okay.
Adamas.
Adamas
But I've been
one.
in charge of ISN since 1996, so it's a good 20 years. So I understand what it takes for people to perform at the highest level. Yes.
Yeah, that's why save one question later. We want to ask you about Harry Maguire, lah. Okay, but
Maguire.
the team news, the Harry Maguire, because about his injury and stuff, with his coordination and stuff, we need to ask the expert, lah. Okay, so basically the team news, the team
Sorry,
news
yeah.
on Spurs is already out already. So you got Lloris,
Yeah.
Royal,
Well-
Dia, Romero,
Hmm.
Davies, Skip,
Let me see,
Hoinsberg,
yeah.
Celso, Lucas, Son, and Kane. So what do you think about the lineup?
I think it's rather eye-catching the fact that Lo Celso is in rather than Ndombele. So and the fact that our friend Davies, the much maligned Davies, is at left back rather than Reguilon, simply because I think his form the last match was really dire. So no pun intended for Eric Dyer. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that to me the lineup is of less importance. Sometimes it depends on your current form. Sometimes you are a great player, but there's a dip, and sometimes there are biochemical changes. That the doctors and the sports scientists will spot, and then they will advise the coach, and the coach will look at how you play on the field and then make the required changes. Otherwise, you cannot be playing with the same team. You have to have a squad. Spurs do not have a squad of like the ones that you have in Manchester United and other teams, or well-to-do teams where you have two starting 11s all the time. And I think I've been listening to a lot of opinion from fellow Spurs fans and all that. They all have their likes and dislikes. They used to rule and say, why is Lamela playing for Spurs? But Lamela is the sort of shithouse expert that we need in the center of the field. And that way he will sort of prod you and make you angry and tense, and you tend to make mistakes, like how he did at Old Trafford last season.
Martial.
Yeah. So that's the way he plays. But we've been missing that. We've been missing that guile, roadside savvy that people have. You cannot play with a team of good boys. Fortunately, we have a solid player in Højbjerg, and I think that's going well with his partnership with Skip. So Skip is still a bit too young, but sometimes I feel that we have too many defensive midfielders with two, and then if we play too deep and all that, we're inviting trouble. Today, I'm looking at how Manchester United is going to try to dominate the midfield, because basically they dominate possession and get it to your wingers to cross over. You've got two good players playing tonight, Ronaldo and Cavani, right? So that is a great danger. Our man Harry Kane is still somewhat missing, all right? So we will look to him to somehow find his way back home, and his way back home to look at the goal and have his proper boots on. Apart from that, to me to play Manchester United is not about having fantastic individuals. It's about having a fantastic team performance. All right, that's the only way to overcome such an assemblage of fantastic players, that you have. Almost everybody is an international. So I feel that that is the only way to play. You have to play at the top of your game, and we'll see how the ball rolls. That's all my attitude is about. Yeah.
We got a comment by the moderator. Son will destroy the defense. Actually, of all
Uh-huh.
the Tottenham players, the Spurs players, right? Collectively in JomUnited, and also I think many United fans, we would actually love to have Son on our team. Maybe he's Korean and whatnot. I don't know,
Yeah.
but we really, I think it's a gem. He's really a gem for Spurs. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about his recent performance?
I think he's been on a downtrend. His performance has been a bit flat for the past few matches. So that in itself is a good sign to me, because he is not usually in a prolonged funk for too long. There will come a time and suddenly he will suddenly find the inspiration, and I think he's saving himself for matches like this. Of course, he was everybody was disappointing with the match against Arsenal before. And I think this is his time for him to see, and he's still the top scorer, isn't he? For Spurs this season so far. So it's still early in the season to judge anybody, the coach, the style of play, because it's all touchy-feely. The coach is new, the players, some of them are quite new. We have Emerson Royal and and a few youngsters coming in. So that's the sort of thing that we have. This challenge that we have all the time. To get a settled team. And the days that we pine for are the days when we had Mauricio Pochettino at the helm, and it's about sometimes you play to minimize risk. Then you don't find the level of adventure and risk taking that we used to have. People that you have to have confidence in yourself to play your best football and see how the pieces will fall into place. This is all about percentage football. I don't want to lose. In the end, you fear losing. In the end, you end up fearing winning. So this is the sort of thing that happens a lot. Not only with Spurs, but also with your team, apparently. Sometimes it's just a matter of the choice of personnel that you have and making the right choices for the right occasion.
Dato, I have one question for you. I think today is a battle
sir.
of two Harrys, whichever the captain can bring our team up, and
Oh.
we call it the El Clasico or El Secchio
El
today.
Sequico.
Oh.
El Secchico. Yeah, so I mean, we have our differences of supporting our manager as Ole in, Ole out, and so forth, right?
Yeah,
And I guess
yeah.
Nuno has come over to Spurs, or more like a salvage, to see what they can do on life after
Yeah.
Pochettino. And how you feel about Nuno, and would you say that you still miss Pochettino?
No, we always miss Pochettino, right? Even though he never won anything, we were always on the skirting. It's just that sometimes you don't win something, but at least you play the sort of football that makes you feel good,
Yes,
as a Spurs fan. You can't always win, but you have to win over the fans. That's the most important thing, because the fans are the ones who watch this and make it a business for people to earn their mega bucks. This is not a welfare society, So at the end of the day, we expect a certain way of playing. Whether you win or lose, that one, who knows? If anybody here, anywhere in the world, can tell me what is going to happen in front of your nose for the next moment, then I will salute you. Nobody knows. But the thing is, the only thing we have in control is how we play and how passionately we play. So that's the only thing. So the respect for the badge, and all that is something that I think it has been missing. If you put it, if there's too much talk about wages and talk about possible transfers, right? This sort of thing, it distracts you from the essence of playing football. That means you play to express yourself and to win. You're expressing yourself, all right? Or at least not to disgrace yourself and your team. That's the most important thing.
Yes, correct. Very true, very
Okay.
true, very true, very true.
Okey Datuk, saya ada satu soalan Datuk.
Ya bang.
Okey, mungkin soalan saya ni bukan yang current situation, mungkin tentang open situation lah, open question.
Boleh.
Okey, memandangkan saya ni fans United since 2003. So ada benda yang saya tertinggal pada waktu-waktu lepas. Jadi ada satu soalan kepada Datuk.
Ya.
Bagi Datuk sendiri, pada pandangan Datuk sendiri, siapakah pemain terbaik pada Tottenham Hotspur dan kenapa?
Bila? Sepanjang zaman.
Sepanjang zaman punya. Yes.
Glenn Hoddle.
Kenapa
Glenn
Datuk?
Hoddle. Glenn Hoddle, you pernah tengok dia punya ni tak? Dia punya the goals, dia punya passing semua. Kalau dia ada sekarang, I tell you, all our forwards, Son, Kane semua, dia dapat bola tu elok-elok atas kaki dia. Alright? And then apa-apa yang coming out, I think he scored at least two fantastic goals against Manchester United, you know. There was one when Adiles laid off bola kepada dia ambil mid-air punya volley, you know. He beat your goalkeeper in 1979. You better watch the YouTube. So with that sort of display, have you seen anything of that sort? You expect from Brazilians, you know, from Argentinians, from Uruguayans and all that. But this comes from an Englishman, you know, from North London. So I feel that dia ni, he suffered for being so talented and all that at the time when the England manager dulu, dia hargai tackling, you know, positioning, team discipline. Dia tak ada imagination untuk allow player like Hodder to express himself and do his magic. Of course, he doesn't work all the time, but he still has enough discipline. Kalau kita tengok balik dia punya career over so many years. Lepas tu, the one player that I really like during Pochettino time is Musa Dembele.
Oh,
Musa
nice.
Dembele.
Musa Dembele.
Great player.
I tell you, Musa Dembele.
I also like him.
Usually underappreciated tau. Kadang-kadang bukan senang kita nak tengok dia. Tapi kalau you tengok, dia boleh tackle, dia boleh harass you. You cuba dapat bola daripada dia, sikitlah punya jenuh. Okay? So it's so difficult to get the ball from him, but yet he can progress and score goals. So there you go. So Musa Dembele, we miss him actually. And of course, Eriksen, okay? He was not so good in the final season and all that. So we miss that creativity. So that creativity and the steal, I think we're still trying to find orang yang betul lah, the right person to get those qualities back. Not only we don't need the steal all the time, you know, because when you have the steal, then when you get the ball, you keep the ball. What do you do with it, right? You tak boleh play keep ball, pass it around and all that. You're inviting trouble. So you need to get the ball to progress in the final third and make it happen and do the shots. You don't shoot for goal, you never score any.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So
I think
to this, Josh, go ahead. Go ahead first.
Yeah, sorry, Dom. I think Spurs has always been a great, entertaining football team since the 70s, 80s, and all those. I mean, I always hear my folks also been telling the likes of Hoddle, Adilis, Gaza, you know, and even in a later stage you have your Ginolas, you know, and all those players, and they were really brilliant, and they will always be a MU and Spurs game with always with goals and with beautiful goals.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I hope today, if let's say if you know, to avoid any sacking happen, I really hope it's going to be like a 3-3 or a 4-3, maybe a 4-3 MU win today, because I think goals coming from these players. But to be honest, tonight's game, I'm looking at the lineup now. I feel that your Spurs attack have more pace compared to us. Our attack is actually only the wings, which is either Shaw or Wan-Bissaka, providing Wan-Bissaka crosses and maybe Cavani being a very, very hard worker himself. And where do you feel that the weakest link might be in Spurs if, let's say, Man U were to get that 1 or 2 goals tonight?
I think the middle of the field, across the middle spine of the field of the field, from our defensive midfielders to our 2 centre backs, Romero and Dyer. I think they're playing very well. All right. Where we are short is usually the last few matches has been our left side, our left fullback. He's still young. He's not consistent, but I would like to see the new right fullback, and see how he can sort of achieve the same things that you hope your own right back will be doing, right? Not only defensively but also in an attacking sense. So I think that's where the thing lies, beyond the wings. And you have a very clever forward, you know. This Cavani, dia memang satu macam lah, you know. He is the sort of player that can exploit any way the cross comes in, right? Whether it's his knee or he stoops or whatever, the usual shots or headers, anything like that. He is the one who'll make himself into position to receive the ball any way it comes. All right, it doesn't have to be a perfect cross. So don't worry whether Wan Bissaka will do a perfect cross or not. He just have to hoist the thing over. He'll get at the end of it, I think. Right. So that's where the danger lies. Ronaldo is Ronaldo, right? So I suppose one of our defensive midfielders might be, maybe Javier will have the savvy to take care of his of this dangerous player still, despite his age. How old is he now? 36, 37?
36.
36, huh?
Cristiano, 36,
Fantastic.
yeah.
36 young.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
36 young.
That's the thing. He'll go on until he's 40, 42. I'm
Yes.
sure of it. You look at him, his conditioning,
Yes.
fantastic. Yeah,
The way he takes care of himself.
he does, doesn't he? Yes.
So okay, so talking about just now, Josh was asking you about how you think Manchester United will exploit Spurs. So the other end of the spectrum, where do you think that you can actually penetrate and take advantage of Manchester United?
It's just speed into the heart of your defense, right? You got Son and you got
Mora.
Moura, yes. So Lucas
Yeah,
and
Moura.
Son will torture your centre backs. That's the long and short of it. And everything
That's why
that
today
comes.
we got 3.
That's why we got 3.
Oh, who's the other one?
We got Lindelof, we got Maguire, and we got Varane. Varane is back,
Oh,
but I
you got
think
three.
No. Yeah, Varane.
That will not help, because when you have 3 and you don't usually play with 3, that leads to confusion. Who takes who,
Yeah, true,
and what.
true.
There'll come a time when somebody will, wasn't that your man? This sort of confusion usually happens when you're not used to playing 3. Suddenly you put 3 in there. Really?
But it's still okay, doctor, because before that also we have issues with our centre back and left back also. It's the same thing also. So
whether
it's still
3 or
fine.
4, right?
Yeah, it's still fine.
No,
So we just chuck in only. We just chuck in.
I've always felt that Manchester United deserve a better class of defenders. No, perhaps we were looking at Maguire, and then you got Varane in. That's a good move. All right, but you need one more, because Lindelof and what's the other guy's name?
Bayi.
Bayi is
Are you
actually
talking about
better when-
Jones? Are you talking about Jones? Jones is
Jones,
the hidden gem. Jones should be unleashed the second half of the season. Is it? That is the
He's
master
still
plan
around,
of
eh?
Ole.
Still around.
He's still on.
Guys,
Yes.
even
You're wrong.
Spurs fans also mocking us about this. Phil
No,
Jones.
I wasn't aware, actually. I'm not really mocking you.
No, just
I
kidding,
wasn't
just
aware.
kidding, just kidding, just
I
kidding.
thought he's
just
gone
kidding.
back to Blackburn or something, that sort of thing.
No man. He's he got a long-term run in the how to say the bed, the recovery bed lah.
Oh my
So
God.
he's like, he's always all kind of injuries. Even when he's not playing, also he's getting injured and whatnot. So I don't know, because he's also getting a lot of stick from the fans. So I find it very hard for someone in that position to actually
This
come
is
back.
worse than our Lamella before, huh? At least Lamella.
I don't think it's that bad. At least Lamela still got. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. Jones is
No,
like
no.
they're just
this is
mocking him. Yeah, he's like how to say, like our
Yeah.
mascot for he can basically be our mascot already lah. Basically in the fan base lah.
But we can only wish him well, huh? Right?
Yeah, exactly. No matter how, also we also
Yeah.
want, especially the JomUnited community lah. Regardless of how we joke and whatnot, we want the best for the
Yeah.
place. If he can actually come back and do something
Absolutely.
about it, definitely. So
Yeah.
speaking about because you are your profession, you're how to say, you're dealing with sports rehabilitation and whatnot, right? So a question. I mean, like,
I'm a sports physician,
do you
yes. Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
think that, like, the United players, with Rashford's injury, people like Rashford, Harry Maguire, like even now, Rafael Varane, apparently he got an adductor tear. Do you think that somehow the people there, the medical people there, are not really doing their job or whatnot, or rushing their players back, too fast, too quick in a way? And then, like in Rashford's case, right, when he got a shoulder injury and an ankle injury, it's like they dragged on for like 18 months and stuff. Do you think there's something wrong going on in Manchester United in that sense?
Well, it is quite an universal truth, that players always want to come back as quickly as possible. Sometimes much too soon, simply because they miss. It's like a drug, They want to play, and they always fear that if they are left outside for too long, the coach will lose interest in them, and they'll be forgotten. It can happen. It has happened in the past so many times. But the fact of the matter is that more disservice has been done by people returning too soon, rather than those who are held back and given sort of a graduated intensity of return. Play in the reserves, play for the under 23s, practice games, And look how people, because it's not just about the injured tissues, recovering and all that. It's about getting the right, all the physical and physiological attributes that people have. Sometimes it's out of whack because you are, you've been away for too long. Things like anterior cruciate ligament tears, and I tell you, tendon and muscle tears are actually underestimated. People usually feel sort of hamstrung when you have an hamstring injury. Sometimes you have more of a spasm because it's a small tear, but the whole muscle will spasm to protect the tear, you see, from rending further than that. So what happens is that when the pain is gone, they feel they're okay. But the structure needs at least about 3 weeks, to be somewhat good, about 5 to 8 weeks for further work. And then you have to test it, not by introducing him straight into the bench, but playing in some practice match first. So this is a case of too much too soon, I think, most of the time.
So with regards to Harry Maguire, okay, this is a question I want to ask, okay, because with his recent dip and in performance and whatnot, he had actually, I think, a calf injury, right? Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, a calf injury, right? So with that calf kind of injury, right, do you think it can actually lead to like miscoordination and how to say, like he's like very blur in a football pitch and whatnot? What do you think about that, Doctor?
Okay, when you return much too soon, there are two things, the calf itself. You got 3 parts to the calf: the lateral, medial, gastrocnemius, and also the soleus underneath. So you got 3 forming the calf. And not only that, you have to take care of other parts of the body as well, because when you injure one part, the other parts get neglected, or there might be other injuries that you have noted. You're just focusing on the calf because it's the one giving the most pain. Whereas that might be not only a small tear or inflammation, but also some tightness that you're not giving proper attention. So in the end, there's a lot of imbalance that happens between the muscle groups at the back of the leg, the front of the leg, and of course further up and further down. So what happens is that if you don't look at things comprehensively throughout the whole body, then you have somebody who's returning. Not only is he fearful of getting the pain back, and when he feels a twinge, the concentration goes, all right?
Okay.
The twinge, you feel a twinge, and suddenly I have to look at Son, I have to look at Mora, and I'm feeling this twinge, and then my fellow fullbacks on the right and on the left are making mistakes and all that. So the distraction is both on the playing thing, on a pain and injury management level, and also on the fitness or conditioning level. So these are the things which compound things, and a lot of the times no player can say, why don't you understand me? I'm injured and all that. We cannot understand because you volunteer or you say that you are fit to play, right?
Yes.
You've told us physiotherapists, of course, you're a star and all that, 80 million pounds, so on and so forth. You're not going to talk back and say, you stay there and be a good boy and carry on rehab. So in the end, he sort of half forces his way back to the team, yes? But yet, he's doing the team a disservice because he'll be the weak link. The thing is, we have players like Son and all that. They'll take you on and see whether they can leave you behind or not. So the first encounter between all these speed merchants, Son and Lucas and Maguire and who the other two?
Varane, Lindelof, Rafael Varane, Champions League Varane, and Victor Lindelof.
Okay,
Varane is back, Varane is back. Yeah.
Really? Okay, good. But I think Varane is a bit early, so they might want to test this how well he has recovered. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Adductor tear, apparently they didn't go into very deep into what his injury is, but then apparently it's some sort of tear in the adductor. So it's like, I think international breaks like what, 2 weeks ago, I think. Do you think that a question by Smurf, if this is the case, is Varane being rushed back? Do you think he's being rushed back for this particular
2
game?
weeks after the test.
I think it's about international break that if France play was when 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Nations League final. Nations League
I
final.
think it was like 3 weeks ago. I think
Yeah.
2 weeks
too
ago,
early,
3 weeks ago.
You know
Yeah,
why?
that's why, exactly.
Adductor tears are very stubborn. All right, and if you force it, he might be able to play to a degree that is satisfactory to all of you. But at the end of the day, what happens is that he may aggravate the thing. It become chronic, So you it becomes chronic, then there'll be like healing, tearing. So it will become complicated. In long term, he's looking at a very deep problem if he's not careful.
Yeah, that's why maybe this is Ole, because apparently Ole got 3 more game left. He's like, okay lah, I'll leave this problem to the next
3 more
manager,
games,
lah,
huh?
whoever that comes in.
True,
Yeah, that is what they are saying lah, speculating lah, that he got
Not my
3 more
problem.
games.
Huh?
Yeah, not his problem. It's cuci tangan,
Okay.
just play
Mana lah tu.
and whatnot
Yeah.
lah. Okay, so going to this game, so Doc, what do you think is your match prediction, the score prediction for this particular game?
Ni, I don't make predictions, all right? Because ni macam menilik nasib. Apa tahulah, betul? But we can say what we hope to see, yes, right?
Okay, hope to see.
Okay,
Right.
on my side, I hope to see. Of course, I want Spurs to win, all right?
Yes.
Not only because we have to win, but because we will be winning against a very good team. Yes,
Yes, correct.
this is not like some Chokia team, with the Chokia. This is a fantastic team.
On
But
paper,
Yes, correct.
sorry, doctor. On
No,
paper, we are a very good team.
so everybody is good on paper, all right?
Yeah.
What sort of paper? Whether it's toilet paper or A4 paper? tak tahu lah. So the most important thing is for us to win, right? And to win in a way that bodes well for the future. That means we see signs that we can build on that, rather than win by fortuitous, by luck, where some own goal or some fluke of
Yes.
nature, which leaves you dissatisfied and say ini nasib saja. So the most important thing is for us to feel that we win with honor, right?
Yes.
Honor and even if it is one goal, right? And even if it is a penalty, because most of penalties are hard earned, they usually result from good play. Not all, but So is Fernandez playing tonight? Yes.
Yeah, definitely. This guy is like I think he will play with a broken foot also, lah, doctor.
This,
He's like
betul
this
lah.
guy.
He's a very hardy player, isn't it? And he seems to be attracting penalties, whenever he plays. So
Not really lah, not so much lah. Our connection, our most deadly connection of Anthony Martial, Bruno Fernandes and VAR, not very. I mean, they are not linking up very well recently. So yeah, not that much lah, not that much. He even missed a penalty that day.
You know, the issue is not always about an assemblage of great players. It's about an assemblage of great players who can play together. Yes. So
Yes, correct.
yeah, this is the key thing.
True.
Sometimes your players are not so great, but the sum of the whole is greater than individuals.
Very true.
So this is something that how Spurs have been overperforming, right? People will expect Spurs apa cerita, siapa ni, But at the end of the day, our center forward was a bit misfiring, but he's been doing great for so many years now, right? That one season wonder, Harry Kane. He came up from the ranks. Many of our players came up from the ranks. We don't spend a lot of money. The most we spent was on Tongi Nombele, right? So that 65 million. So that's the extent of it. We wish we had 80 million to spend on
actually we don't mind. We can ship him over to Spurs. You can actually take
No.
80 million
You can
player.
keep him.
You can
We'll take our chances with Eric Dyer and Romero. Okay, even really. Thank you very much.
Okay, apa score prediction? Okay, apa yang you harap tengok lah. Jangan cakap score prediction. Apa yang you harap tengok daripada game ini?
Okay, apa yang saya harap tengok, United menang. Itu paling penting. Spurs ke siapa ke, yang penting nak kena menang. Itu paling penting, paling mustahak. Bukan saya yang minta. Ramai peminat Manchester United minta untuk kemenangan. Itu je. Kita demand kemenangan.
Okay, how about you, Josh?
I really hope today will be exciting football for both sides. I really want to see a lot of goals. As I said, for this game, there's always a lot of goals, and I hope this continues. About a 4-3 or a 3-2, of course, a United win. And today's game, what I feel that will happen is that you will see glimpse of players' brilliance. That's what I'm hoping for. If there is a goal coming from Spurs, it will be a brilliance of Son going past 3 centre backs. One will definitely go by for sure. The other two.
One will bang into another. One will bang to another also. So it's fine.
Yeah, but I think for us, I really see this lineup. If I put aside all our past results, this side with Cavani and Ronaldo, I'm really looking forward and excited about this partnership up front lah. They are one of the best, most experienced strikers. Age aside, they know where to stand. Their positioning is good. They are good strikes on the ball. Conversions are quite good in the air. I don't see why not we score 2 or 3 goals today lah for United.
Okay, we got a comment by Eriton. Okay, we need to invite Dato back on the show. Very, very great insight. Seriously, even personally, I really appreciate your input. It gives us another point of view because most of the
Agree.
time what we read is from the press and whatnot. But from a professional that can actually run through what you just did for us, I think it's like Faisal Iswan actually mentioned here is a breath of fresh air. Breath of fresh air having someone as passionate as Dato Dr. Ramlan on the show. And another thing to point out is, round of applause, guys. A very warm round of applause for Dato. Okay, so
Thank you, thank
actually
you.
another thing also, another thing we realize also, this kind of passion, right, from all the Otai fans of football generally, actually we see these kind of similarities with all the Otai. So maybe for us, the younger fans, maybe we should actually learn from for example, Dato and then many others like that, to have the same passion to support our team
Exactly.
when we are going through turbulence and whatnot, is it? But when we talk about Ole in, Ole out, we put that aside. We still support the team. Okay, end of the day, we still support the team. Okay, having a competent manager or one of that is another story. But regardless, we gotta always support our team. So, like the score prediction, I really hope that United, I mean, there are fans that, sadly, Dato, there are fans that actually want United to actually lose. How sad is that? Want us to lose so that the manager will get sacked. Not in JomUnited but in the general fan base that when what you read. So yeah, that is a very sad thing because regardless, whatever it is, we love the club. Regardless, there's no manager, there's no player bigger than the club. The club always will live on. Even when we pass on, the club will continue to live on. So we want the best for our club. So I'm expecting a win. I'm hoping for a win. And especially like Dato, you mentioned, a very good performance, a style of play like you mentioned. So regardless if the result is like maybe not a girls galore kind of thing, as long as the players turn up, they play for the badge, they play a certain style, they give their best, and then not the, like you mentioned, not a chiplak kind of goal, a proper kind of goal. That is what that I'm looking for to at least bring some kind of positivity back to the fan base . Okay, so guys, we are at the end of the show. Okay, so again, thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much, Dato, for joining us. All right,
Thank you, Dato.
Thank you, Appa. Thank you, Josh. Please, I mean, in the future, if it's okay with you, maybe you can come on and then we can talk more about this. Maybe not so much as a Spurs United thing, maybe as a medical point of view, you can just come in and share your opinions and whatnot. I think
No
the
problem.
viewers will
Anytime.
really, really appreciate it so much. Okay, and then maybe we'll send you over a JomUnited shirt lah. Okay, not United. I don't think you'll wear a United shirt, but a JomUnited shirt lah. And then we can do that for you lah.
I got 4 daughters. One of my daughters is a Manchester United fan, so it's okay.
Oh, probably that's your favorite one lah. That's your favorite one.
But
Call her right now. Call her right now.
Tak ada. Ada siapa suka Spurs in the family? Just myself.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so with that,
Okay.
so let's hope for a very good game. Okay, we'll see you guys in the post-match reaction. Okay, thank you so much again, Dato. We'll see you. All right, cheers, guys. Good night.
Bye.